in progress. Yes, sir. Ray, it's good to see you finally. It's good to talk to you again, and it's good to have your conversation. There's so much to talk about, and I can't wait to get into it. You're a busy man lately, and I'm pretty impressed by some of the things you got going on. It seems like you're a man in demand, so I'm looking forward to talking to you about that. I know you've talked in other interviews about this before, so it may be a little bit of rehash, but I think it's good for people who haven't heard to get your to get what's going on with you out right now and talk about the new project. And we'll go back in the history and talk about what you've been doing before too. But let's talk about what you're up to now.
Well, getting into it now. I know, I know you mentioned the Lynch thing. That only lasted one weekend. I'm not really going to do any more until down the line.
Oh,
yeah, just real quick, because honestly, I don't know if you know this about, but I've never really done other people's songs. I've never,
that.
so I wasn't able to translate those songs into like a good performance. So it's like to sing someone else's stuff the way it needs to be sung, in that map really takes a lot of work and a lot of rehearsal, and I just didn't get that. So with me not getting rehearsal and just really not being ready, to cover someone else's material, I just couldn't do the gig. So George was smart. George is like, let's rehash this some other time. And so that's how that went right away. I'll let you know that.
Okay, well, that's news to me. I didn't know that. So thank you for sharing that and clearing that up, because that's news. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first heard that, oh, what was that? Like
end of interview out.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing I want to talk to you about. That's it. That's it. No. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When I first heard that you joined that band, I thought, number one, that's cool. But if I'm being honest, the main vocals that George has worked with in the past, Don Dawkin, Oni Logan, Robert Mason, I was curious to see, well, how Ray's got a very unique voice, how Ray's going to pull it off. So I'm not going to lie, I thought that was very interesting of a choice, but I was anxious to hear it.
And to think how I felt, so I was really excited to do it. But then, but for me to really do it, it has to be a part of my, I told somebody else before, it has to be part of my DNA.
Right.
I can't just go in and half-ass. And I tried to go in, and it was a bit half-ass on my part. So I got bit in the ass by it. And it's that simple. I went out, we did 2 shows. One, I kind of like, started to get my sea legs and started to feel my way around. And then the next night was just, it turned into a horror show for me, because I just didn't have a grasp of the material, so, and I'll be the first to admit, I'd be, oh man, that guy fucking sucks, but it's just, I didn't have a grasp of the material. So until I feel more comfortable, I'd like to try to get down the line, but right now is not the time to do that, because he needs someone to come in and hit all the points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To come in and just be feeling my way around and experiment with it. And try to hit certain notes. It's not like that. Like to do spread stuff, that's kind of in like my physicality. It's in my DNA.
It's written for your voice.
Make it sound a certain way and do its thing. But it still takes a lot of work. I still got to work on, my mid register, focus on keeping my high register. If you don't do this all the time, you will lose a sense of it. If you're used to like, flying a plane all the time, you don't do it for a long time, I wouldn't get back in there.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So like the smart thing to do is just to keep working on my chops, keep working on stretching my core. It's like a muscle, like anything else. You got to work it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the past couple of years, I really haven't sung that much, especially since the beginning of COVID. I haven't sung one note.
Oh, wow.
2019.
Wow.
So to go back and think that I could just be on 100 wasn't happening. So that's the honest truth of that.
I saw one video. I don't know what the show was, but I saw it was only a fan film video, but it was you, and I couldn't even hear what song you were playing. But your stage presence, the way you interact with the crowd, like you own that stage as far as what, because you're a professional singer, you know how to do a stage. But again, I couldn't hear what song it was. I couldn't judge on what you were singing, but you still had a good presence on that stage, I found.
Well, I'm me, man. I'm really comfortable in the box.
Yeah.
But I'm only comfortable in the box singing if I know the material really well. I can't just go in and fake that shit.
Yeah.
But as far as crowd interaction and all that, like when you go out as a singer, I'm always 50-50, performance or crowd interaction. And I really love connecting. So sometimes I give up a lot of performance just to connect, and I'm happier that way.
Right.
It doesn't make the best vocal performance, but that's where I have a good time. It's kind of like the David Lee Roth school of entertainment with that, how that goes,
Yeah.
So yeah, I Audience, no problem. I know a lot of guys, they tend to freeze, or they don't know how to relate, or they don't have their shtick down. But I feel like my shtick has always been down, and I've always had a part of that, ready to go.
Yeah.
But as far as like the work and just the vocal work takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, I can imagine. One more thing on the Lynch thing, and then we'll move on to your other stuff too. I noticed in the video that, and I see this online too, I noticed that Rob DeLuca isn't there. He wasn't there that night. Do you think that had anything? This may be a silly question, but do you feel like if you had him kind of there with you, kind of locking in with you, that might have made it a little bit more easier? Did you miss that on stage?
Yeah, because there's like some emotional support.
Yeah.
And, the thing was it like either to wait and go in later, or, do the ballsy thing and try to step in now. And I chose to do the ballsy thing.
Yeah.
And thank God for Rob, man. Rob is like, well, just try it, can't hurt. And turns out it did. So I got to pick up my bootstraps, and we got Spread Eagle shows going, coming up. So I got to really focus on that. But yeah, if Robbie would have been around, I'm sure that's always emotional support, man. He's just, it's a level of comfort. Rob had to do his UFO stuff, and he's got lots of work he has to do before he sees me.
Yeah, he's in Sebastian's band, of course. He's in UFO. He's got a bunch of things going on too. He's a busy touring musician. Everyone's got to be on the road, make money.
Yeah, he's a hard worker, man. Yeah, hard work ethic. People like that,
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm keeping this in. Yeah. It's all the real life stories of Ray West. I love it.
You were mentioning
Spread Eagle shows, when
now here's the thing with Spread, just so you know, let's get our timeline straight.
Yeah.
The last time Spread did shows was when we went to London in 2017.
Oh, wow.
This is a string of 3 shows we put together because our buddy Brad Lee had the Ballroom Blitz gig set up in 2019, I think it was, and COVID broke that up.
Right.
So this is our redo on that. This is our chance to make up that gig, and Brad's putting on the show, and he kept a slot open for us. So that's on the 29th. The 30th is when we're going to be at Arlene's Grocery in the city.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, I thought it did already because I see promotions for that. I thought that already went down, but I'm wrong on that.
And understand, to me, no matter what all the even what I just went through,
this
means a lot because it's very personal for me. It's New York City. It's very personal. It's like a lot of my friends, and it's our old stomping grounds. It's where we were born, as far as the Spread band goes, and its identity. So doesn't matter how bad I fuck up on something else. I got to get this right. You know what I mean? This is my shit. So we're gonna go in blazing, and I'm excited to do it, man. I wanted to play Arlene's for so long. It's a small little venue, and people, it's so small. It doesn't matter. It's the best. Cool. It's the cool venue to play. It's a small room. We don't have CBGBs anymore.
No, exactly.
So Arlene's is that great little room. Sounds fucking great, and it has some magical moments in that place, man. And I've been in the audience a lot and been a part of some magic. I've seen a lot of magical moments happen, but I've never been the one throwing the signal before.
Wow.
I'm excited to go and just get in a room of friends, and maybe people that aren't really friends, the people that like the band, and people that hate because that's their job, to go out and hate and sit in the back of the room and do this shit.
Yeah. And post online about it and be a keyboard warrior. Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah, I will find them and abuse them verbally.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. So I can't believe it. You didn't play any shows in support of Subway to the Stars. You guys didn't do any touring behind that, or any shows at all?
Man.
Because of COVID?
Like a lot of bands.
Crazy.
Well, like us, we took 100 years to do this record.
Yeah.
We get it done, and we're excited about it. It gets really cool reviews, which I'm not used to. When Spread came out, the debut, there was people that were like, "Oh, it's a crazy New York band." It was there was everybody else. Subway got a lot of good reviews, and it's just a cool sounding record, man. When I listened back to it the other day, I'm like, "That's fucking cool, man." And now we get to translate that. So 2019 comes around. I think we had about 2.5 weeks booked, and we were ready to go and working on passports for Canada, all this stuff, and it just didn't happen. COVID just did its thing. It was like one venue shut down, the next venue shut down, and the domino effect just did its thing.
All right.
So this is it's a wake up call, for us as a band to really step up and kind of because there's this thing that happens when you don't play for a long time. I think this sort of thing develops where it's Spread Eagle. Well, what are these? Oh my God. It's like, are they that good?
Yeah.
you know, you're like, you got to deliver on that shit. 'Cause it's been a long time, but the status of the band from not playing has turned into this thing of this. There's this thing, Spread Eagle, you know. So
Right.
it's kind of daunting, man.
Yeah. Well, which is funny because when you first got back with Spread, when you guys started activity again in 2006, I think it was, for the better part of what, 15, almost 15 years before you did the record, you guys were doing shows, maybe not a full tour and everything, but you guys were doing a bunch of shows. That's all you guys were doing. It was show, show, show. And now it's more the other way where you did a record and, oh, now we're going to think about some shows. It kind of flipped a bit, I noticed.
It's weird, man. It's like, it really, as corny as it sounds, you take it for granted when you don't have it. You know, when it's there, and when you don't have it, it's like, oh my God, man, this thing that I love to do is taken away from me.
Right.
You know, so you take that thing that whatever floats your boat, whether it's doing this cast or like, you know, you have your art and everybody has their art, and when that's taken away from you of something that's completely out of your control. It's not because I went to rehab or some shit like that, you know. This is because this virus hit and it swept the world and stopped everything. But for us, you know, in our little Spread Eagle world, this is a time that we got to make shit happen.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, we get to play, and it was a drag. It was a drag.
Yeah, because you're all set to go for Subway to the Stars, hit it out and get some songs out there live, and then boom, it shuts down. So what did you do in that time? You were about to hit, and then world got shut down. What kept you personally busy over the last 2 years, music-wise or otherwise, that you can say?
Well, as far as just life, I live near the beach, so I'm a beach bum, man. I'm there like as much as I can. You know, I'm just as happy doing nothing in the sand and goofing around as much as I am playing music. You know, just kept creative, kept writing songs. You know, just try to. Life does its thing. I got this COVID health job and this remote gig in the daytime because I wanted to help people and not just sit on my ass.
Nice.
So it's about, you know, just connecting with people. And my boy, he's 19 now, but he's full time. It's a full time thing, and just really spend as much time as I can with him and my girl, and it's more like trying to get family going.
Yeah,
that's all that matters, really, isn't it? Family and friends. And this is this is a reset for everybody. I reconnected with my friends that are really my friends. Everything, whatever is important to you in life, this is the time to reset and get that done.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how I felt musically. I'm like, well, it's been 2 years of me really just sitting on my ass. Like, what do I do? So I really started to like enjoy singing more. And here I am talking about this gig I just did where I really didn't do what I wanted, but I really do enjoy the craft. And just spending my time working on it.
Yeah, that's for sure. You, I think I'm correct as well. You released with, I want to get into this too, because we never really had a chance to talk about it. We talked about Spread music so much the last time with you and Rob, obviously, but with the band you've done, which kind of came out of nowhere, I checked into your history after we talked and I found the band Weapons of Anew. That's a record you did in 2017, a full one. And you got, I think, a new song, Sick Boy, which is just fucking fantastic. Not just saying that because you're in front of me, but it's a great song. That was released around the pandemic time too. Is that correct? Do I have the timeline right?
Yeah, that was a cover, a Chainsmoker song that we decided.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah, it's a cover. I had no idea.
Wow.
You know, I'd never heard it before. But you know, you hear a song, you're like, oh,
I love it.
God, that's a perfect tune to cover because you can kind of put your own stamp on it. You know.
Yeah.
But as far as my stay with the band, that band was put together about 2015, and it was we came out swinging. We did a record called Collision of Love and Hate.
Yeah,
kind of like an old school meets new school kind of chemistry, and I really enjoyed that record a lot. It's a great. It's like I call it a demo / album. But then as we started writing for the second album, band politics came into play, emotional politics and interpersonal politics. And if everybody's not in sync emotionally, or you know, you can't, it's not a place you want to work. So I just had to step down from that too. I had to, you know, if I'm in a band, I'm in a band 100%. I'm not an employee.
Right.
You know, because I know what I bring to the table is valuable, and I don't think that what I brought to the table is valued. So as far as we actually cut a whole second record, and then when I split, and when you know, it was all very mutual. They're like, Ray, maybe you should leave because you know you're making people angry. I'm like, well, maybe I should leave then because I don't want to piss anybody off. I'm a really strong personality to deal with. you know. But I'm also really, anybody that's, I'm really, people that know me know I'm easy and I'm mellow. So the last thing that I ever want to be put into position as being is like someone's employee and just working at something for the money. So it made me really, had to look inside and ask me, and ask myself if I still wanted to do rock and roll, because it soured me so much, that project, the way I came out of it. You do things because you really love it, and then something gets in the way, and the thing that you love gets a little further and further from you, and it just becomes a bad trip. So they were all great guys in the beginning. Everything was cool. So, but that bands that are like, and it was great touring too. Be like, the way to go and do shows is to buy on. So the band had money.
Yeah.
So the band had money. Guitar player had money. So
Yeah.
we were able to buy on to like Alter Bridge and Non-Point and Tesla. But when you buy on, people don't give you respect because they know you're buying on.
Yeah.
You have to be this really dynamic opening band, have a lot of energy, and we really worked hard at it. So even though we bought our way on, we busted our asses. But then, the pandemic hit and personalities really come to the surface, and we just found out that it's best we just didn't work together.
Yeah, it's a great record. I love your vocal style on there. You did some great songs like Brave, Kill Shot. There's some great stuff on there that people should check out if they can. It's definitely worth it. If they love your style, they love what you did after Spread Eagle, that's definitely a record to check out. It's too bad it's not going forward, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's still in my catalog. So if I've had a few people offer to put band together for me, and what I will do, I'll probably just do, everything from my APW stuff to some of that, because my and let's get into that, because
yes, definitely.
I don't, I came as a young buck, swinging for the fences and singing in a certain kind of style, and then I sort of gradually evolved into something else. Like, I like heavier music. I really love, like, I love Godsmack, but I also love U2. Bullet the Blue Sky is just as heavy as anything else ever written. So I think there's a lot of room to, like, where I don't have to be in this high register voice screaming at the top of my lungs. I think there's a way to just come down a little bit and sing more from here and be more natural. So that's what I got into, just be more natural. So I enjoy that signal, and I like being in heavier, and I like the heavy side of what I do, and I like the Spread Eagle side of what I do. They're both very rock and roll. They're both very, but I like that cool, I love the Deftones and all of that kind of shit, man. So, I also like Sade. Sade's heavy too.
Yeah.
Most live. So
yeah,
I guess what I'm trying to say is
Paradise, Smooth Operator. There's some good songs. I love it. Yeah, man.
If I could be in, in my next life, I'm going to be Sade.
Yeah, there you go.
But I like that kind of singing. I like that cool, low tune growl and really hitting, pocketing melodies. And I like funky music. Love Rage Against the Machine. Love POD. I love POD, man.
Yeah.
I love all that kind of style of music, man. And I like the aggression in it.
It's funny you mentioned that too. I was going to bring this up later, but I saw you used to post a lot of live videos on your feed when you were at concerts or whatever you were doing. You were on the beach, just hanging out, kind of just your own personal stuff, which is kind of cool to engage with you. One of the places I saw you at was one of these clubs, and it wasn't KC and the Sunshine Band themselves. It's probably a tribute, but they were playing Boogie Shoes in the background. And I kind of got onto that song. I didn't know about that song until I heard it playing at the club you were at. And I'm like, who sings that? I'm like, it's KC and the Sunshine Band. Looked it up. And so you turned me on to that Boogie Shoe. Yeah. So seeing where you were and seeing the type of music you're into, and like you're into the funk, the rhythm, the R&B, the blues, the pop, the hard rock, the heavy metal, the spectrum you're into is amazing. And I really dig that.
Yeah. I'm a very eclectic gumbo of stuff, man, And if I could mix it all together, I would. And actually, thank God, believe it or not, writing with Spread, with the newer stuff gives me a chance to vibe out a little more, like me and Rob have been through our different progressions in life, and we both meet together, we both meet musically in the right place. And our drummer, Ricky, is he's a soul funk drummer in a rock and roll, vibe.
Yeah.
But, everybody in this band's really talented, I just, that's what I dig, man. It's not that I don't like hard rock and roll in the car. When I'm in the car cruising, I'm like Casey and the Sunshine.
Yeah.
Cool.
We were around it and you're making it. That's your main. If people know Ray West from a professional standpoint, it's hard rock, it's heavy metal. They know you from that thing. So you get in the car by yourself. It's just you. You're not going to, I mean, you can if you want, but you need to kind of step away. It's good for your mind and soul to step away from that and enjoy some other genres. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no such thing. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. You like what you like.
Right. Put on like Sade, Lovers Live, and you just cruise.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's always been. I think that my dream would one day be to have like, like a soul rock kind of thing, you know. So we'll get there. We'll get there. I still got some time left.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole career ahead of you, man.
And when you're doing this, you never think. If you'd have told me where I'm at right now in my life, I'd still be like wanting to even do this. I'd have laughed at you, man, because I'd be like, oh, Stones, oh, they blocked that, they're old,
Yeah.
man. And here I am, I'm like, I still love it. I still love it, man.
Yeah, you could be 78, 80, getting up there on stage and just moves like Jagger, man. You could do it. I could see it happening. Just keep it going. Yeah.
Hey, rock, I didn't know,
Yeah.
when you're younger, you think rock does have an age limit. And as you grow older, you're like, that's a stupid way to think, man. But, that's the young mind doing its thing, As you learn more and you evolve more as a person, life goes on and you learn more shit. It's like, no, it just gets cooler.
Yeah.
You gain wisdom, you know what you like more. So now that I do know what I like more, I've got to put my foot down and just do it though, instead of just talking about it.
Yeah, for sure. This is a good time to go backwards and past with you then for this. So Spread ended, for those that don't know or don't remember, Spread Eagle ended about 95, 96. And then you guys got back together for shows, I want to say about 2006. In that 10-year period, before you did APW, before you did other stuff, and with Spread doing shows, what were you doing as far as music or otherwise? Did you just leave the business between 95 and 2006? Where did you go, kind of thing? What happened to Ray West?
I think, let me see.
If you can remember.
Yeah.
25 years ago.
Moved off for like a year and just explored, I explored I think I did an experiment. How much drugs could I actually ingest and not die?
Like a test tube.
Yeah, I think I spent a few years on rollerblades, just blading around the city. People will tell you, "Oh, Ray used to come rollerblading in the bar, man. Just pull up to the bar, have a Jack and Coke, and just go all night, man."
Nice.
I traveled quite a bit. I started getting into cooking a lot. So, a really good friend of mine and I, actually, two of us, would travel all over the place to do like these cool culinary tours. Went to like Morocco, stuff like that. Went to Austria, Kitzbühel, Austria.
Wow.
I did a lot of traveling. And so traveling, cooking, I put myself through cooking school.
Wow.
And because at that time the Food Network was coming up and I wanted to be like a rock and roll chef. I thought that'd be so cool, man.
Yes.
And so I did that. I also did some, I think I did a solid year and a half of stand-up comedy, and I really enjoyed it.
Did you really? Wow.
I really enjoyed it. But every time you do that, what happens is somebody would be like, "Oh, Randall, we got this band going, so come do this." And they pull me out of it. So somebody would pull me out of it all the time.
Wow.
And I even tried an off Broadway play with a friend of mine. It was called Viva Pachiva, about a bunch of gypsies. I like to entertain. I'm always just like, I like to be the clown, and in all that time as well, I did a huge amount of drugs. Not like Nikki Sixx kind of drugs, I guess, but I mean, I did dope, and it was my drug of choice. So a lot of rehabs. Just happens, and I survived myself. I didn't do myself in. But that was it in those years, man. You're just trying to exist. You get beat up so much by this business, and at first I was really hurt. I was just fed up, and I walked away. The one day me and Paul had this conversation. We were like, I'm like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And he was cool. It was like, whatever, and nobody stopped me from walking away. Nobody stopped me from becoming a drug addict. I did it all by myself, and, you learn your lessons the hard way, especially somebody like, I'm a stubborn motherfucker, man. It's like, until the bus is coming and I see it in front of me, I won't get out of the way, and thank God I'm older now, and maybe someone have to pull me out of the way because I'm slow, but I've learned my lesson, bro. I learned that I do like myself, and what the fuck was I doing? But what did Max Mander say? You had the brass ring, man. You threw it away. We all make our mistakes. Just mine are like in front of a lot of people sometimes.
Yeah, but you come out on the other side, and that's what's important, man. And you're talking about it, and you understand it, and you can kind of maybe avoid it,
Yeah, man. And
whatever traps you. Yeah.
And when I see kids, at shows, I taught at the School of Rock for a little while, maybe like 5-6 years ago. These great kids playing organic rock and roll, and you just want to give them all this, whatever they got, all the positive things that you can give the kids, and I'd be like, Ray, what's the do's and don'ts? You just don't hurt yourself, man. Do it because you love it. Don't do it because someone's making you do it or someone's just paying you. Do it because you love it, and do
Mm.
not hurt yourself. There's more to life than just trying to be perfect. Don't be perfect. Just enjoy the journey. All those bumper stickers I can think of to throw
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And raising the kid has really straightened me out a lot too, which I tell everybody. Not everybody. Hey, how to straighten your life? Don't go have a kid. You don't have to do that, but that's what I did. And just raising him is what you know. Not being a selfish prick and putting my love and care into somebody else.
Mm.
I never thought I could really do that, and so that fixed me a lot.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. Did you have support from your former band members? Did you keep in touch with Rob and Paul Salvador now and Tommy? Did you keep in touch with them when you left Spread Eagle to kind of get that support, or were you kind
Yeah,
of cut off
Rob
from
and
that?
I always kept in touch.
No.
But the great thing about DeLuca, you'll meet people in your life that are really genuine. He's a genuinely kind cat. What you see is even more than what you get because there's so much to Rob. He's just a great. He's kind, very unselfish, generous, all those good things. But Rob can also be very driven. That's what I like about him. So there's
Right.
always fun games, and there's go time, right?
Right.
Wasn't for Rob. If it wasn't for Rob, really Spread wouldn't be doing its thing right now. Rob is the catalyst. I will give you that.
Rob got you guys all back together in 2006. Was he the one that called you guys up, or whoever was like his? Because when you guys first started, it was basically you and Rob coming back together.
Yeah, I was always on Rob's ass. Let's do something. Let's do something. But he was busy. Remember, he started working a lot with with his gigs. And I think Rob realized that you can go in and work for other bands and things like that, but your own when you have a chance to do your own thing and make your own stamp, that's the greatest thing you can do. Because you go out, you make the money, great. But you know how it is, man. Unless you're doing your own thing, you're not going to be happy unless you're getting your expression out.
Yeah.
If you're an artist, you're like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be your way or the highway, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, if you have the luxury to go back and work on your own thing, you do it.
And you did. That's great.
So he made this happen. He's the one that made it happen.
So tell me about APW, because that happened, I think, again, my timeline, but 2007, 2008 was that first record. When did it first hit, and how did you get involved? Like, how did you decide, okay, I'm going to do a solo record. This is what I'm doing. This is the style. Talk to me about how that process started.
I never called it my solo record because I never thought like naming a record Ray West had really any value, because I didn't think I was shit. So, but what I had, I was traveling back always from New York City to Fort Lauderdale because I was raised down here, born in New York City, raised down here, and Florida's got this high caliber of musicians, and whether it's like the way it's closed off down here, isolation breeds creativity. That's how I see it, So there's a cat down here named Miguel Gonzalez, good friend of mine, brilliant bass player, brilliant engineer, great producer, great writer. We had some, we put a band together down here somewhere like in the 2000s, and we had this great crop of songs, but it would just sat around. We never did anything with it. One day I was like, we got to record this shit. And he and I just went to the studio. I think Miguel played bass and guitar on it. We had his cousin Damien do drums, and we created APW, those 10 songs. And I think those are, those songs they're not about shredding. It's just they feel good and they're bass driven. And once again, that's about as close as I can get to a funk band. So APW is as close as I get to a funk band right now.
All Pointz West, for those who don't know the APW.
That's right.
All Pointz West, which it works. I love the title. It makes sense. I wonder where you came up with that.
It's funny because I always thought it was just a good, All Pointz West, whatever. And my friend Gino said to me, All Pointz West, you could have a compass that goes like west. Like, oh, that's so cool, man. So that was the idea. Yeah. And then there was a rock fest in Jersey called All Pointz West. I was surprised to see that.
I think so. Yeah. I recall. Yeah.
Kind of on the right track.
Yeah.
But the thing is, these tunes are written by all these great musicians. I have to give everybody credit. It's not just me, Miguel, but we wind up putting this stuff. Us two were the ones that wanted putting the songs together to put in an album format, And there's a song on it called Novocaine. Out of all the songs I've written with everybody, whether it's Spread, whatever, that's like the coolest piece of music I've ever being a part of writing. That's me, and
It's awesome.
that song deserves to see the light of day. But what happened was when I put different versions of ABW together, because even though it was written down here, I moved back to New York. So when I was in the city, had a few different versions of the band play, and we always did the coolest gigs, man. Whether it's Gramercy Theater, and I got around a little bit. It was
Wow.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have a bill. Well, there's APW on that bill too. Why not? Why not put Ray's band on it? So we had really good gigs. But while I was going to make that happen, that's when I got sidetracked, I believe, to do some of the weapon stuff. So once again, something that always pulls me away from my own shit,
Right.
And now the talk is, even though I'm doing spread, I want to put an APW together. And I got some friends in Philly that actually rehearsed the material. And it's either that or I was actually going to have an all-girl band down here.
Oh, wow.
That's the other idea too.
Yeah.
But I do want to have those songs see daylight. But I think to do that, I'd like to do a re-release of it. So I'm working towards making that happen. Now, if I have to re-record the stuff or remix it, I'm not really sure yet. I think the album has a really cool and different sound, and I think that would be appreciated. But I'm just gonna try to make it happen when it happens, But I know that I don't have that much time with this stuff. When it comes to me getting this out, I can't get distracted again, or else I'm fucked.
Yeah, I got you. Is it out of print now? No one can get it. Can they find it? I know they can find it on YouTube, but can they find physical copies? Do you know? Do you have to re-release it?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. So
is it? Okay.
Re-release. So like it's one of those. I think I have like a whole warehouse full of CDs of that thing. Actually, I'm gonna send you one.
Do it. I'd love it. I'll blast it in the car.
I just know a friend of mine, Tony Fortuna, actually placed Novocaine. Like I think he got like a placement in Sons of Anarchy a little bit, and in Burn Notice. So the songs has done its thing. I know that it works, and I have a band now that I'm recording with called Magnificent Beast out of Miami, and we've got about 4 songs on the table. No, 5 songs that are written. And just like 5 songs, we got 5 songs. We're probably going to start putting the EP together. I think the end of the month, so I'll let you know. But that's called Magnificent Beast, and we'll probably re-record Novocaine.
Oh, that's cool. That's going to be good. Yeah. So even outside of spread, there's a lot of music going out there. You're stretching your creativity. There's a lot happening too, record-wise as well. So with the shows going on, with the records you have coming out, you're still very busy. That's what I meant when I said at the top of this, you're in demand. You're still a very busy man. Doesn't matter if this project starts or stops. You got something else on the fire, something else that's cooking.
Yeah, my brain doesn't stop, man. Sometimes I can't sleep. It's a drag. I think last time was like 3:45.
Keeps you up. The thoughts of what you could be doing. I feel the same way about this stuff, about podcasts or who I can talk to or bringing my radio shows. I'm thinking about what songs I can add. I'm not a musician, but I think of it in different ways and it keeps me up and I get frustrated, but it's cool at the same time.
You do the art of conversation, man. That's an art form. Some people don't know how to fucking talk. Or what they talk, it's just fake. There's so much fake falseness going on that it's hard to, it's easy to cut through the stuff now. You know what I mean? You're genuine, and some guys get on the mic like, so yeah, man, come on, they
like the radio DJs from back in the 80s and 90s or try to be. I can't pretend I was. I grew up on radio, but I was never, I'm not old enough to be in that business then, so I can't say.
Yeah, there's a certain sensibility when you talk to people and if it's a genuine conversation or not, right? So yeah, man, my brain doesn't stop, yours doesn't stop. And I don't think I'm going to be happy in my life unless I make my own mark at something, Right. And, yeah, I mean, I sing a little, I dance a little, but I know, spread writes a certain way because it's democratic.
Right.
But everybody wants to do their own thing, man. So, whether it's me being, whether it's ego or some sort of selfishness, I just know that I have something to say, and I'd like to do it through that style. So I think I've developed a certain kind of style, and I'd like just to take one more crack at it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I can't wait to see the results, to hear the results. It's going to be awesome. Are you going to do any videos and stuff like that as well too? Like any kind of stuff you can put up on YouTube, like a whole shebang?
That comes with the gig now. It's like,
that's how you release a single with a video. Yeah, or a lyric video or something. But if it's a video, it's good too.
Even if it's just iPhone, man, it's
that's all you need. Zoom video.
If it's like a 4-song EP, you got to video something. You got to put it on YouTube. You got to do the rounds. You got to, get put on Insta, and you got to do its thing, spider it out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this band in Miami because it's just these great casts of great writers, and you'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'll get to you.
Can't wait for everyone to check it out too. And we'll get you back on here again, and we'll talk about when it's all done and promote it and try to dig into it as well too, because there's so much, like I said, facets of your life. We only got into a touch of it when we talked the first time. It was all about Spread and the new record. This is a little bit more about you, which is good. I enjoy that too. So it's good to get some of your backstory. I appreciate that.
Right on, brother.
Yeah, man. Let's dig a little before I let you go. Let me dig a bit into some Spread Eagle as well too. So in the shows that you guys are doing with Subway to the Stars, and you never got a chance to really tour it, promote it, play it live, do you have, can you say what songs from Subway are going to be in there? Do you have a favorite? What can you tell me about the shows coming up?
Yeah, we all have our favorites. I think the song Subway to the Stars, I think it's really cool. It's it translates really well live.
Yes.
What's the other one? Got to do Sound of Speed, because we actually made a video for that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's the most fun video I've ever done in my life, man.
Looked like it. You guys were like kids on the go-kart track.
My man.
A little different than the Switchblade Serenade video, I would say. It's a little contrast in style.
Very serious.
Yeah.
We were very serious, young, you know, and a lot of like, I'm working with the stripper pole in the fucking video.
It's awesome. Yeah.
But being able to jump into kiddie carts and have fun with that, because every time back in the day when we were on tour, and if we ever found a go-kart track, that's where we'd be all day. Yeah. And that was just the coolest thing to do. You know, either that or go to the bar, and I'll go to the go-kart track.
Yeah.
So I went to the Stars, probably Sound of Speed. And then the third will be I want to do 3 from every album.
Okay.
You know, so then we'll go from there, because we have Johnny with us. It's about as, you know, we don't want to over cram him, but apparently he can learn anything. So maybe something like Dead Air. I really like Dead Air.
That's a great song. Yeah.
So if we can pull that off live organically, we can do anything.
29th of February is great too. I love the way the guitar on that. That's a great solo. That's amazing. What Zeev does on that. That's fantastic. This is going to cut out into, it says 1 minute. I've got it. It might cut you. So if it does, just come back on with the same link if you can.
All right, brother. Zeev is a fucking magician, man.
Yeah.
What a great cat. Zeev, some guys get in the studio and they don't have it.
Yeah.
Zeev, like when somebody can see colors, man, he just sees more layers of things happening. And Rob's like that too. So you get Rob and Zeev together. And Rick is a drummer, guitar player, songwriter.
Rick DeLuca. Yep.
Rob, player, writer, producer, engineer.
Yeah.
Zeev, guitar player, producer, writer, engineer. So you got all these 3 of those guys, along with me being a pain in the ass, and all their creativity meeting each other. So to watch them all work and interact is hilarious, because in the end you get something.
Yeah.
It's got to go through the machine, you know.
Exactly. And Zeev was a process to find. You guys didn't start out with him. You had a different, I can't remember the names of the guitarists. You had other guys playing with you back when you first got back for shows. But Zeev really came on board, I think, not long or before the Subway. I think he was on it, but did he come into your band when, in 2016, 2015? When did he come in? No, I know we talked about it, but I don't remember.
Around 2012, I thought, something like that.
Oh, wow. He's been there for a while, so 10 years.
Yeah, but Zeev did that thing, like, you know, you hear stories about like the great rock stories. Oh, Randy Rhoads walked in and it was this thing. He didn't have much.
Yeah.
Kids,
streets of California, streets of LA, and walked in.
Zeev, we had auditioned a few people, and then Ricky found Zeev.
Okay.
Ricky has a great network of great musician friends. And Zeev came into the music building over on 8th Avenue, and it's just before 42nd Street. You know, it's the music building. It's very popular.
Yeah.
Zeev came in, and it was more about his sound. Like, and he was confident. There wasn't like an air of ego, but it was just like a confidence. Like, man, this guy, something about this guy. And he just started playing his ass off. We were like, it took like maybe 2 minutes. That was it. It's like, okay, you're in.
Nice.
We'll call you tomorrow. No, stay here for a while longer. And Zeev is Zeev, man. Now, and Zeev is a funny cat, because Zeev's kind of like, I don't know if Zeev was born in Israel, but his accent cuts with an American accent. It's like a lot of slang, but it's done with an Israeli accent.
Yeah. I never heard him speak, so I don't know, but that's cool. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
He's a cool cat. he just had a baby and his life's changed.
Okay, I was gonna say because he's not playing with you guys right now, is he coming back to the what you could say? I don't know what you could say, but if he's coming back to the band at some point, he's just taking a breather because he's obviously he's home with his family, which is important, which is good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because he's a great writer, so he'll we'll get into the studio with him and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pressure Steve to do anything. So if we're lucky to have him, that's how we feel. And also Johnny comes in now, so
yeah,
we've got two great players on deck, that are both very cool with each other and respectful and understand the band. I wish I could have them both at the same time. That'd be awesome. But
well, there's a question for I don't know if you can say, but would you have would Spread ever be a dual guitar band? Would you keep Johnny and keep Zeev together?
If I could, I would. But
it's Rob's call.
I don't know. But for me, saying that might be the end all. But as a singer, I would love to have two guitar players. But there's also something to be said about the classic rock format, the diamond, and I love that.
Yeah.
I think if you've got a great guitar player and you've got a great bass player, it fills all this great space. You don't need more than that. Right. And that's the school I come from. I like one great guitar player who can fill sound, and the bass player that can also fill the rest of the sound. That's super important. And the way that all gets connected is by a great drummer.
Yeah.
So if everybody knows how to make their space even bigger, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Plus it's too many people on stage having two guitar players.
Yeah, you might when you're running around stage, Ray, you might bump into somebody. It might not come out so good. You might take somebody out. It's not going to be it'll be a fun visual, but it's not safe. So you better keep it to the one guitar, one bass.
Yeah, and it's not that I run around a lot, but I'm pretty spastic, and I'm not that self-aware. Like a lot of people, like when you're talking on the phone, you can see yourself. I try not to do that, but I'm not self-aware really, and I'm spiritually terrible. So it's like whatever's around me, I bump into it, I just jump around. That's it.
Yeah, look out, Ray's on stage. I love it.
Yeah, man, give Ray room but he's only 5'5". Give him room. He needs room.
He needs room. He needs room to go. A couple more things then, man. So Spread, of course, now you're just finally promoting the Subway to Stars. You're going to get back out there with some shows, some great songs to dig back into. I've recently re-listened to the record again. It's growing on me again, just getting back into the songs. It's good stuff. Is there plans? I know you got other stuff going on. Maybe it's too soon to tell, but are you going to think about start writing for another one coming up? It's going to be 3 years. Don't let another 15 years go by. Get a record out there.
The talk in the around the water cooler was we are writing, so we've got quite a few ideas. Almost like I said before, for some reason 5 is a big number with me. I think there's about 5 solid ideas, and we're just going to keep writing. I don't want to do the thing. What's cool about Subway? We wrote before we got into the studio, so there wasn't an extra thing. But if something does get created, that's great. But just the way the last album turned out, we happened to have everything ready to go in. It was the easiest sessions I ever did.
Nice.
Because I knew where I was going with the melodies. It didn't take me an hour to land there. I wasn't, throwing headphones around and breaking things. It was really easy. And the beauty of, like I said, of having this particular group of gentlemen is they write their asses off. So right now we'll get this little group of shows done. Rob finishes touring, and then we'll get back to writing.
That's going to be cool. And do you think maybe too soon to tell as well, will come out on Frontiers Records as well? They were good for the last one. They were looking forward to a Spread record. Do you think that'll happen again? Or are you going to maybe look elsewhere to release it?
Well, I'd like it to, but whoever will have us and will take care of us best is what we'll do. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to give up anything that's not even there. So we have places to go. Let's just make sure it's the right place. That's how we'll put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you don't want to just to make something, have it be a coaster.
Yeah.
You want to make it and have somebody hopefully somebody really want to work with it. Well, I heard this song. Let's make a video. Let's just have fun with it. And I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And I want to ask you this too. I know I asked you and Rob the last time as well too, and not at the expense of the guys you have in the band now, but at any point, because I know I've seen videos actually. I know Tommy's still drumming, he still has his chops out there, he's still doing his thing. I know Paul or Salvador does some music from time to time. Not now, but at some point ever, maybe the last time the band goes around, when you guys think about hanging up Spread Eagle for the final time, do you guys ever can you see the 4 of you playing at least one show, getting together for one song, doing one thing, the 4 guys, or is that a non-starter?
I don't see it. See it. I've read, I know Salvador is in a different place.
Yes.
So, and I've heard what he's done acoustically. He put out something online acoustically, and it's just so far from something I would ever do. But maybe, if I just don't see it happening. I'm so grateful that Paul is doing music, whether it's acoustic or whatever he's doing, because he was such a monster player.
Right.
He was such a monster fucking player. He deserved to be on Guitar Player magazine with everybody else. Tommy, I know Tommy's, I think, living in, I don't know if he's living back in Massachusetts, but I've kept in touch with him time to time. Some of the things I've read on his comments, or weren't the most flattering things about what we're doing now, because when you're out of something, you can't imagine it going on, I guess. Tommy's a sweet kid, man. What a great fucking guy. But I don't would want to even be doing rock and roll in this style anymore.
Yeah, I've been lucky to connect with him on Facebook, and I've seen some of the posts you're talking about, and that's kind of why I wanted to ask. He was asked that question in an interview, basically, and he didn't. Yeah, he basically said the same thing you did.
Yeah, they're just some old guys reliving their glory days.
Yeah,
but man, this is straight up why we do this.
Yeah,
if we didn't do this, we'd go crazy, and all I would do is post about a bunch of people doing shit that I wish I was doing. You know what I mean? We're doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like the record was recorded. We did it. We fucking did. We're going to do some shows. Great. We'll do them again, but we're doing it. I'm not talking about it. It's going to fucking happen. And it's going to be my experience. I'll enjoy the fuck out of it. And if I'm too old to do it, I won't fucking know.
You'll know when it's time. And you're not there yet, but when it's time, it's time. And I don't think anyone's going to tell you that. You guys are just going to know whether it happens by your choice or not. Hopefully it's by your choice, but you know what I mean. Hopefully when it comes, you'll know.
Yeah, you're as old as you feel. It's like I have nothing bad to say about Tommy or Paul. We had a great thing. We were young. We were fucking swinging for the fences all the time. Yeah. Tommy's where he is in life. Paul's where he is in life. Rob's where he is, working and grinding it out on the rock circuit. And I still like to create music, that's heavy and that's rocking. So I wish I could tell you in a perfect world we'd all kumbaya together on stage somewhere, but it's just never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, you have a great band with you. Like I said, you got Zeev, you got Rick, you got a great fire band. You got Johnny with you guys now covering the live shows. It's going to be on fire. People should check it out when you guys get to the shows, when you get to Arlene's Grocery, when you get to the other places you're going. I forgot to ask, or maybe I did already, but how many shows do you have for the rest of the year lined up for Spread Eagle wise?
We got ourselves a booking agent, and that's in progress right now. I will not bullshit you. We have dates. There's things we had to turn down because of scheduling. And that can be frustrating for people. It's like, well, okay, you guys, here's a show. Oh, you guys wanted that one. Okay, man. Well, how about this? Okay, why? Okay, so it will happen and it will pan out. I just think we've got to really nail these 3 shows. The one in Philly for Bradley is a big deal because 3-day event, and we've been invited, because people think we've got something to offer. I also got to go back and pull myself up from the shit show I had this past weekend where I didn't sing well, and show people that I can.
Oh, you're hard on yourself, man. I don't know. I mean, you do what you can with the best. I mean, Oni Logan, Robert Mason, those are Don Dawkin in his prime, man. Those songs are not easy to sing, even clearly for the guys who do it now. There's no way. You have a different style. That's all it is. I mean, it is what it is. People need to focus on that more than, he's not hitting the notes like Oni. Well, go listen to the record.
Maybe some rehearsals will be good next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that Spread, like I said, man, everything is right now, right? The COVID bomb is sort of dissipated a little bit. Let's go and get some shows. Let's make this happen as much as we can. You only get so many shots at this.
Yeah.
And
crack at the wheel.
Line up 3 shows was a big fucking deal. Trust me, because shows are hard to get.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they haven't been around. Why should we give them a show? Oh, but man, they listen to the Subway to the Stars. Okay, there we go. They still go.
Exactly. People want to see it. If they can sell, if the promoter can sell the tickets and there's a demand for the band, doesn't matter, as long as you can fill up the place that you're playing and there's a demand for it. That's what it's all about. As long as they don't come out on their ass on the red, then they're going to be, the shows are going to happen, right?
That's right. Spread Eagle equals fucking beast mode, baby.
There you go.
Beast mode, man.
I keep
the fucking microphone for like
yeah, just scream away. I keep saying this, but 2 more things. What Oh yeah. So your favorite now, because obviously times change, your voice changes, things change in your life and your dynamics. When you're playing the old songs, what would you say is maybe your favorite song to play live now versus what it maybe have been in the past in your prime? What, well, I say prime, but you know what I mean, like in your younger years. What do you like to play now? What do you still excite you when you play it spread wise?
Yeah, we got a song called "The Devil's Road."
Yeah.
Fucking love this song, man.
The first
It's like
record of yours I ever got. Nice.
it's the
Yeah.
opening track
Over
on
the public.
Open to the Public, and
Oh,
something about that song
damn.
when we're just in the zone with it, it's super like moody, and it's I love the look on people's faces when we just hit the groove in the beginning because everybody just locks in because
Yeah.
everybody just does this.
I think that kicks off the record. Am I right? I think that's the
Yeah,
first song.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what a great fucking opener, man.
Watch.
Devil's Road. That's the first thing I ever heard of your guys' music. Was the first. That's a cassette I got given to me by somebody, and that's the first song I ever heard. I'm like, holy shit, what is this?
Yeah, it's like
In '93, no less.
yeah, I love the whole blues drop section in the middle of it. Like, what
Yeah.
It's it's just cool. And back in the day, I believe we were gonna make it a single too. So before MCA dropped the ball, so we were ready for that to go, and do its thing. I love that song.
Were there any singles from that record? I don't remember any videos coming out. Did they even release anything, or they dropped the ball right away? It seemed like I wasn't there, but I'm just asking.
Yeah, I thought they put out a short intro version of Devil's Road.
Like an action. Did you film a video for that record? I don't think so.
No.
No.
The last video we did was Switchblade Serenade.
Yeah.
I remember the day that was going to come out, and we were like in the Midwest. We were probably in Arizona. We were in Arizona. The air conditioning went out, and we were like someplace just taking Valium and drinking Jack Daniels. I don't know. And we were all excited because the video was coming out, and that's when we got the call that MC was not going to put out the video.
No.
And we gone on to MTV Headbangers Ball a few nights somewhere around there, and remember Ricky Rackman telling me, "We're gonna play you guys new video." And we're like, I was excited. It's like, oh my god, I'm on the couch, I'm talking, we're fucking me and Paul are hanging out, and he played Scratch It. I'm like, that's not the video that we're here to promote. That
was that in 1990 or 93 that you were on there? Because he had the long hair. I think that was in 90. I think the new record at the time was the debut, was it not? Because if I remember the one you're talking about, it keeps circling around in groups and stuff, but he's still got the long hair. I think in 93, Ricky, I don't know how I know this, but it's kind of silly, but he cut his hair in 93, right? So I think that was the debut.
We were there to promote. We were there to do Switchblade, but I think they were going to do both videos that night, but we were planning on Switchblade being there.
Right.
And that didn't happen. And he also had a bunch of questions about Bruce Dickinson, but it was the wrong Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the first thing Rob and you talked about when I first got on. I said, talking to me about Bruce Dickinson, and Rob's like, it's not the same Bruce. I'm like, yeah. I'm sure he's got that a few times, or maybe it was you, but I'm sure you've got that mistake before.
The more cowbell.
Yeah,
more cowbell. That's
the Christopher Walken. Yeah. When you played that. Yeah.
And Bruce was known for you finish the whole track and he would just come in and just lord over it.
Nice.
He was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Devil's Road.
Yeah, Devil Road is very cool. Okay, this is the last thing I'll ask you. I didn't know this too. This came out in an interview with George Lynch when he was talking about you joining the band. I didn't know you had a history. You knew Oni Logan from back in the day. How did you guys connect back in the day? How did you know him?
In my younger band days, in my early 20s, me and Oni just met up. I think we met up at a place called Art Stocks Playpen. It was our rock and roll thing down here. We had Monday Metal Night, Art Stocks Playpen. Nice. It was our version of that was our Whiskey A Go Go.
Nice.
You have LA and you have FLA, which is fake LA, as we call it. So faux LA.
Yeah.
And we just became besties. Our bands rehearsed in the same warehouse area. Like I would be in this band and he'd be like 2 doors down. And we had a friend of ours, Eddie, and the three of us used to go out all the time. And we go to a place called JW's Crown Lounge, and there'd be a cover band, and we just raid the set. Oni would do a few tunes, I'd do a few songs, and we just drink free all night. So we did this everywhere.
Nice.
But we were tight for years and years, man. I don't know how we met, because it was probably just a drunken haze of some kind. I'm lucky I can remember anything in the 80s. I always
pop up.
Remember the 80s, you did it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. If you remember the 80s, you weren't there.
Yeah.
Did you watch him when he went on to Wicked Sensation, when he went on to Lynch Mob? Did you hear that record when it came out?
I'm gonna tell you a story.
Yeah.
I won't even crack up if I tell you this. I was in a band down here called Defiance, right? And we had a song called Wicked Sensation. That's all I'll tell you. And and I was actually I when I left that band to come to New York, Oni joined the band after me, right? So he did those songs. So
Yeah.
whether he took the title out there or whatever, but God bless him because it's a cool title. But that was our last interaction really. And then I saw him again in LA. It was actually 91 because Spread was out there. I think I met Oni the Rainbow. And that's the same night I met George actually. And but that's
Oh
the
wow.
last
Okay.
time we connected was in like 91. And then I saw him a few times. And when he came to New York City, like in 2015 with Lynch. And that's the last time I saw Oni. And since then we've corresponded back and forth. But we came up together in the rock and roll scene down here in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And it was cool. We had a place called the Button South was open until 6 a.m. We had a place called the Treehouse that was open until 6 a.m. And they were rock lounges. You know what I mean? And we just spent our times in these three clubs: Art Stocks, the Button South, and the Treehouse Lounge. And we were just besties for a long time. And then people just go their separate ways.
Yeah. Yeah, his story is an interesting one too. Coming in and out of Lynch Mob, the way he recorded that first record, the demos, the things they had to do about that. That's he's got a very fascinating story as well too. So it's good to see. I mean, like I said, I like original stuff. I'm glad you're with Spread Eagle. I wish he was back with George, but life is the business. It's not the music friendship, right? So I mean, it is what it is. So hopefully, you keep going on with what you're doing. That's what's important. I'm glad we got to touch on that and clear the air about what you were doing. And I'm glad I appreciate your candor and your openness about your career and what you're going on. Yeah. What you got going on. Yeah, man.
Yeah. My new thing is not my new thing. In life, you have to learn the best way to be is straight up honest.
Yeah.
You're going to just feel better when you're honest, man, because the false bullshit, trying to make things that you're not. Oh, my band's so cool because we bought onto this tour and we took this cool photo shoot. And that's how we look, but we're not really like that.
Right. A lot of people don't talk about that too. They don't want to know. They want people to know, fans know they bought on a tour because it doesn't look like they've been picked. The people like to be, I was handpicked to be on such and such a tour. People don't want to talk about that too. So it's cool that you're mentioning that.
Yeah,
some people don't talk about it.
A lot of bands I know, they buy on because, if you're local, you're not going to get on a stage.
No.
You're really not.
Not that kind of stage. No, unless you buy on.
Kiss is going to ask you to come up. Hey, man, I saw this great band last night. Come on, that doesn't happen anymore. Van Halen doesn't take out.
That's over. Yeah, you're not seeing Van Halen open for Sabbath anymore. You're not seeing that kind of stuff. It's too bad, but it is what it is, right? A lot of things have changed, not for the better, but that's the way it is. Yeah.
If you're not getting tickets in the club and having people paying, if you're not paying to play one way, it will happen. It stays in the business. People do pay to play, and that's how it works. A lot of bands you see, they buy on because the headliners got to make their lunch money.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different business, man. So, I was in a band that bought on. It wasn't a big deal to me because I knew that I could earn my respect once I was able to get on. But some people don't give me the respect, even if you buy on, because you bought on. You didn't earn it. You can't buy your way into the business. You can't, because it's such a small business and everybody knows everybody. Yeah. I was in for a couple of days. I know everybody knows everybody. And if you don't got your head together, you're going to get stepped on, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And this day more than ever, because now it's so competitive with the touring. People want to be out there. There's so much demand for people's money. Records aren't selling, so they got a tour. They got to make the tour package the most interesting to get the most butts in the seats. Like it's cutthroat out there for sure. You touched on a little bit now, but it's more than fans can think. People call into shows thinking about, why is this ticket price like this? How come I'm not seeing this band do this? Blah, blah, blah. It's a friggin' business, man. And they're doing it. They're going where they need to go. They're not playing your towns because no one wanted to pay to see your band in that town. So that's all it is. They don't care. A band would play anywhere that they'd let you, but the promoter has to want you there. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense financially.
And so you gotta earn your way. You gotta earn your respect. You gotta go in and be humble, and that's how it works, man. If you're not a rock and roll gentleman, we don't want you.
Exactly. Ray, it's been a pleasure as always. I'm glad I got a chance, like I said, to talk to you in depth, and I can't wait to do it again. Hopefully you'll give me that time again when new Spread music happens and more APW and the Beast. What was the name of the band again? Sorry, say it again. Magnificent Beast. Yes, we got to get that into my palette as well too. Yeah, it is cool. Got to get that on the tip of my tongue as well too. There's so much more you got going on. I can't wait to talk to you and Rob again for sure and catch up. It's been great, man.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Awesome, man. Ray, we'll talk again. Take care.
Bless you, brother.
You too.